Hey, this is Emily from Swan Life Barbecue. Today we're cooking a smoked sweet potato pie. This recipe can be easily done on any style smoker or grill or even just in your oven. To get this outlaw patio smoker fired up, we're gonna start by using Royal Oak all natural briquettes. First, you're gonna fill your fire basket up, put your tumbleweeds underneath, get it lit, open your vents, and then you're gonna let it start coming up to temp. All right, so to get our pie started, what we're gonna do is get our sweet potatoes on the smoker. And all I'm gonna do is cut them in half. Once we get them cut in half, I'm just gonna take a fork and poke a few holes all the way around it. Now we got them in our half pan, we're just gonna take a stick of butter. So we're gonna go ahead and get the sweet potatoes on. So we're gonna put them right here, a little bit past the middle. We're gonna get it shut down. So these sweet potatoes are gonna take about an hour. We're gonna come back and check on them in about 30 minutes. We just wanna make sure they get good and tender. So one of the first steps you're gonna do when making this pie is brown the butter. As you know, at Swan Life headquarters, we love brown butter. So I'm using a store-bought pie crust for simplicity and time today. We're gonna get this out on the smoker so it can start to brown while our sweet potatoes are cooling. And then once it's slightly brown, we're gonna get it off and put our filling in. Once you get in there, you see that the fork just falls right in there. They're good and tender. So we're gonna go ahead and get these off, and we're gonna get our pie crust on. I'm laying a piece of foil down just simply to protect my glass pie plate from getting so dirty. So we've gotten our pie shell off and we're letting it cool a little bit. Now it's time to make the filling to our pie. You want to get as much of the sweet potato out as you can. We have our sweet potatoes ready to go. The first thing we're gonna do is incorporate our brown butter. Just gonna mix it all together until the butter is all mixed in the sweet potatoes. So now our butter's all mixed in and our sweet potatoes are broken down really good. We're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. So we're gonna start with, I have a half a cup of brown sugar and a quarter of a cup of white sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of allspice, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And this is where it really gets different. This is a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, this is your decision how much you want to add in. All right, once we have those mixed in, we're gonna go ahead and add our wet ingredients. So we have 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 2 tablespoons heavy whipping cream, and then a half a cup of sweetened condensed milk. Now make sure to scrape down your edges so everything can get mixed in good. So now we're gonna get our pie crust filled. So you're just gonna pour it all in there and kind of smooth it out. So now I'm gonna show you a trick on how to make your pie look super fancy without a whole lot of work going into it. So this is actually a pie crust cutter, and you're just gonna cut little designs, and this has a little stamp, so it'll stamp the veins into the leaf. And it just pops out and you have a cute little leaf. I have a little bit of an egg wash here. It's just 1 egg mixed with about a tablespoon of water. So I'm just gonna put a little dab in the back. That'll help it stick to the crust. And you're just gonna lay it out. We're gonna stick it right there in the middle. We're gonna let it go for about 50 to 55 total minutes. You wanna keep a really close eye. You wanna come check it about every 20 minutes. So it's nice and brown around the edges. What we're looking for is basically where it's set around the edges and still a little jiggly in the middle. So you can kind of see it's a little jiggly. So we're gonna go ahead and get it off. That radiant heat is gonna help to cook the rest of that in the middle. So I like to go ahead and make this pie ahead of time and serve it the next day because it's even better. So now it's time to taste it. Oh my gosh, that pie is so good. That cayenne pepper really comes in at the end, so you get a little heat, but it is so good. Let's add a little bit of that whipped cream. I really think I could sit here and eat that whole pie.